All right, welcome to the relationship show. This guy writes this post. My girlfriend, who's 23, fell out of love with me. He's 23 as well. And I am not able to handle it. He says, "Hi, all. This is my first post on Reddit itself. I read so many posts about this, but nothing is helping. We were in a relationship for 3 years, and for 2 years, it was long distance, but we made it work. Everything was good before the pandemic, but somewhere it all went wrong. And she said it to me a couple times that I did everything I could to rekindle the spark." Okay, well, you're taking that as like a good thing for her to say, but it's like, well, if she says, "Oh, you did everything you could," means that you tried really hard, but you failed. But also recognize that women speak how they're feeling in a particular moment. So if she says that she really likes you in a moment or that she loves you, it's like, yes, she loves you in that moment, but it's like a few weeks later, things could change. Or, a little while later, things could change. It's like women speak how they're feeling in a particular moment. So don't take like what she said in the past as truth today. Be very careful of that, because it's like with women, you really have to restart her attraction every time you see her. You have to be present, make her feel special, make her feel understood, make her feel seen, recognized for the things that she does, and make her feel safe. So it's like if you have to basically restart those attraction and then have a fun time with her pretty much each time you're with her. And that's just how it is. One day she said she fell out of love and we should not be together anymore. Yeah, I mean, probably 75% of the time, women are the ones who in the relationship. Or at least set it up for a situation where the guy will end the relationship for them. Like sometimes women don't want to end the relationship like flat out, but when it's like at the very end and they can't take it anymore, sometimes they'll do something like that violates your standards so that you will break it off. And so just be aware of that and then recognize that. And then it's also like relationships are one of the biggest focuses for women in a lot of cases. And so it's like if the relationship's not working out, then they're kind of out, So just be aware of that and really improve your skills, because it's essential. It's essential to practice. I mean, just like everything else that there is, it's like so many people try to just get into a relationship without doing any kind of practice or any kind of studying or any kind of learning, and just like trying to the wing it kind of deal, or like wing it based on what their parents taught them. And in a lot of cases, parents don't know this stuff either. I am devastated and not able to function. I can't stop blaming myself for where I went wrong and what I could have done better. I saw my future with her and now it's empty. How to move forward? Well, you're not really giving me any examples on like what you did or any kind of problems, but I mean, what I would do is I would look back on how much of the conversations you initiated versus how much of the conversations she initiated. So, like if she is not in like a long-term relationship like this, you've been together 3 years. Yes, two of those were long distance, but now this last year you've been together, and I'm assuming that it wasn't long distance. So if she is okay, so if you are initiating more than like 30% of the contacts and the as far as like texting or communicating, then oftentimes what you'll see is the polarities aren't there. The masculine and feminine energies aren't there and aligned. So if you're doing more than 30% of the initiating in a long-term relationship, from the masculine guy's perspective, usually there's a direct correlation between that and her attraction dropping. And so ideally, you want her to be the one who initiates the contact about 80% of the time. And then when she does initiate contact, that's when you set a definite date to get together, or you have an outcome or a purpose. But it's important to, show her you care, and not about like just being cold or whatever, or being distant, or like a cold fish, I think the term is. It's not about just like doing this to basically trying to gain selfish control. It's more about like knowing that you need to manage the space between you and her, and then also that Pursuing is more of a feminine quality. And so it's like if she's the one who is pursuing, it allows her to be more in her feminine versus you being in your masculine, being direct, decisive when she does reach out. And so it's essential to manage really the space between you and her. And so it's like, yes, you can text, but keep it like short conversations, texting. But then when you get together, that's when you really want to show up. And so you want to basically build anticipation to each moment that you see each other in person. So it's like you want that space for her to wonder about you, and then that closeness and space and closeness. And that really kind of dance kind of between the two is really essential to creating attraction. And so, yeah. And so, from your perspective, how much do you text her versus how much does she initiate the texting to you? Are you direct, decisive, to the point? Are you the leader in the relationship? So, are you the one who making the plans to do things? Are you making? How are you showing up? Are you trying to solve her problems, or are you just like listening to her? Ideally, you want to just listen to her and feel what she's feeling in a moment when she brings up problems or struggles. You don't want to just solve her problems. That will make her feel like you're just kind of like brushing her off, and it doesn't make her feel understood. What she wants in those moments when she brings up things is like when for you to feel what she's feeling. And so you can do that and express that by just asking her further questions, getting her to talk more. Women talk about 4 times as much as guys per day. And so just get her to naturally do that through questions. And then just kind of like, yeah, almost go through the experience with her in your mind. And so the two of you, go through that. And then in order to do that, you have to be really 100% present. So it's not like you're watching TV at the same time that you're trying to listen to her and just kind of like split as far as your focus. It's like you need to have 100% focus on her. That's really what she needs. Also recognize her for the effort she does to get your attention. That's one of the biggest things women do is get attention. One of their biggest motivators is to get attention, both from guys, but maybe even more so from other women. Just recognize that. But and then also making her feel safe. So are you sticking up for yourself? Are you sticking up for her? Are you staying strong in your values and your mission? If you're not, and you're not doing these things, it's like that's all these things are really going to drop her attraction. But if you can do them, man, it's like her attraction will raise and raise and raise. And that's really when you have a healthy relationship.